Yo, what is up guys? Delboy here, aka Blue Collar Sports TV. Hopefully you guys are doing well. If you're new here, smash that like, hit subscribe, all of that good stuff. So, Oleksandr Usyk retains his heavyweight titles by defeating Anthony Joshua via a split decision. Now, as far as I'm concerned, there's no argument that Anthony Joshua won this fight. So the whole split decision was a little bit concerning watching it live, but thankfully two of the judges had it to the right man. I actually enjoyed this fight more than the first fight. I felt that AJ in this second fight posed more danger to Oleksandr Usyk. He had a few moments in this rematch, and I actually felt Anthony Joshua started this fight relatively well. First round was what it was. It was a feeling out round. Both guys kind of fiddling around with lead hand control. Oleksandr Usyk sunk a couple of good straight lefts to the body. Joshua got a good straight right to the body also. But I felt round one, Oleksandr Usyk controlled it. And he landed more shots in the first round. Rounds 2 and rounds 3 I felt were good rounds for Anthony Joshua. On Sky, they kind of described them as close rounds, but they gave them to... I think they gave rounds 2 and rounds 3 to Oleksandr Usyk. I actually felt Joshua won those rounds. Joshua was coming in behind that nice hard jab, and he was throwing the straight right hand to the body. And he was trying to force Oleksandr Usyk backwards. I think he also landed a couple of lead left hooks to the body as well in rounds 2 and 3. And yeah, I felt he looked purposeful in those rounds. He wasn't being manoeuvred as he was in the first fight quite as much. Though Usyk had success in those rounds, he made it competitive. He was picking through Anthony Joshua's guard with his southpaw jab, occasionally coming around the side with like a slapping right hook. But I felt that Joshua's power shots in those rounds were the difference. Maybe Usyk slightly outlanded Joshua in those rounds, but I just preferred what Joshua was doing, to be honest. I liked the aggression. Though after the third round, I felt that Joshua, his success was fleeting in my opinion. There were very few rounds where Joshua had consistent success. And again, the success in which he was having was primarily to the body. Left and right hook combinations to the body, little bursts here and there where he would force Usyk back momentarily on the ropes and land a couple of body shots. It is worth mentioning that some of the body shots that he was throwing, Usyk was blocking with his elbows, but the commentary team was giving him credit for landing those shots. But, you know, he was still making Usyk more uncomfortable in moments of this fight. But once again, Anthony Joshua could never really get his jab going. Usyk slipping to either side, slipping the jab, dipping off to the side, and then throwing his own jab, which would connect on Anthony Joshua. So yeah, after round 3, I felt there was a couple of rounds where it was almost kind of reminiscent of the first fight in the sense of Joshua was trying to be a bit too perfect. He was trying to line Usyk up for a perfect shot instead of letting it hang out on certain occasions. But Usyk was winning the lead hand control in rounds 4, 5 and 6 in my opinion, and he was starting to pick Anthony Joshua off with his lead hand, and occasionally he'll come around the side with his looping left hand or straight left hand. And also as well, Usyk was digging to the body in this fight, primarily with his kind of scooping left hand to the body, but occasionally with a right hook as well. And yeah, I felt after 6 or 7 rounds, Usyk was really starting to gain control of this fight, and he was building up a lead on the scorecard. Round 9 was a really good round for Anthony Joshua. He really focused on the body in round 9. Sometimes he was throwing when he wasn't in position, but I think he realised that he was way behind in the fight, so he took more risks in round 9. And yeah, he managed to bully Usyk a bit physically in round 9. Sometimes he was holding and hitting, doing some dirty shit, but he got Usyk against the ropes on a few occasions, landed some good body shots. Also, I think he landed a nice straight right hand in round 9 as well. So round 9, you wondered whether AJ could claw his way back into the fight based on sheer physicality and aggression. But round 9 and round 10 in this fight was basically the microcosm of both fights combined. And what I mean by that, anytime AJ had success in both fights, Usyk would respond immediately, and round 9 to round 10 is the perfect example of that. Round 9, AJ had a great round. Round 10, Oleksandr Usyk tuned AJ the fuck up. He was landing the 1-2 with great regularity. He was timing AJ with his check right hook as AJ would step in. He would throw the 1-2 right hook. He was also mixing the uppercut in there as well, going to the body. He landed a barrage of shots on Anthony Joshua in round 10, and that was a great response from round 9, as I mentioned. And yeah, basically round 9 and round 10 was a microcosm of both fights. Again, every time AJ had success in this fight and the previous fight, Usyk would come back with something of his own. Although in round 10, to be fair to Joshua, he actually timed Oleksandr Usyk with a pull counter right hand. Usyk got a little bit too excited and he came in square, and AJ timed him with a massive pull counter right hand, bang on the chin. It was a huge shot, but Usyk took it so well. I don't think he was even truly hurt, to be honest. I really don't. But yeah, AJ tried to have a second stand in round 11. I think the commentary team thought he hurt Usyk to the body in round 11, but to me it looked partially blocked. But it definitely moved Usyk, no doubt about it. But again, in round 11, AJ's success to me was fleeting, the odd body shot here and there, whereas Usyk was much more consistent with his lead hand, winning the jab exchanges, countering Joshua at times, and yeah, just picking AJ off. And round 12, AJ tried to go for it to the best of his ability, but he was basically shattered in round 12, and Usyk was just kind of taking the piss in round 12. He was rolling under AJ's left hook and his jab, coming back with his own right hook, countering effectively, spinning AJ. I mean, he had AJ off balance numerous times in round 12, and I felt that there was a good chance that AJ was going to walk into something big and get hurt, but he never did. And yeah, round 12 was pretty disastrous for Anthony Joshua, in my opinion. In terms of scoring, I felt this fight was similar to the first fight. I would say sort of 9 rounds to 3, something along those lines. Though I will say this, I felt in this second fight, there were more moments where Oleksandr Usyk was uncomfortable with the sheer physicality of Anthony Joshua. I can't really recall too many times where that happened in the first fight. So I do actually feel that AJ was a bit better in this rematch, but ultimately it still wasn't enough. There was no double jab left hook, there was no 1-2 left hook, there was no variation in AJ's combinations or his offense. Primarily, he would try to throw a speculative 1-2 or lead with body shots. There was very little variety in Anthony Joshua's offense in this fight. Occasionally, he'd try and throw a speculative uppercut as Usyk came close, but I mean, he missed every single uppercut in this fight to the head. But yeah, I mean, the offensive variety wasn't there for Joshua. I felt he did the right thing physically at times in rounds 2, 3, and 9, but again, listen man, skill for skill, these guys are on a different planet, let's be real. And I know people are going to clown Joshua, but I felt honestly in this fight, he basically did the best he could, and that's all you can really ask for. His post-fight interview though was bizarre. I mean, he basically gate-crashed Oleksandr Usyk's moment, took the microphone and went on some tirade about, I don't even know what he was saying, to be honest with you. Just absolute nonsense. But yeah, I mean, I think AJ there had his Kanye moment, to be honest with you. I mean, after the decision was read out, he kind of walked out the ring in a huff and in a strop. Then he came back. So I don't know whether he thought he won that fight. I mean, probably, I guess he did. I mean, to me, there was no way that AJ won that fight. No way in hell. He did better, in my opinion, in certain aspects, and I felt he had a few good moments against Usyk, but Usyk was dominating the lead hand control once again. His lead hand was far more active. He had the higher output. He landed more shots, and he finished the fight much, much stronger, in my opinion. So yeah, congrats to Oleksandr Usyk, unified heavyweight champion, defended those crowns. As far as I'm concerned, it's a non-debate at this point in time. Oleksandr Usyk is the pound-for-pound best fighter in the world. That simple, as far as I'm concerned. And hopefully, Tyson Fury doesn't vacate. Hopefully, he doesn't retire, and he mans up and fights this man. That's all I'll say on the matter. Undisputed, one fight away. Let's get it. Let's get it. You know, it'll be a great fight. It's the fight we want to see. Last two men standing: Oleksandr Usyk and Tyson Fury. Let's get it. Anyway, share your thoughts below. Beanie Guy Del Boy. Peace.